In a small village, two boys lived as best of friends. One was 6 years old and the other was 10. They played together and ate together, but they truly did everything else as a team. One fine afternoon, they ran out of the village, playing and chasing each other. "You can't catch me," the older boy teased, running ahead. "Oh, yes, I can," the younger boy shouted back, laughing. As they ran, the older boy didn't notice a deep well hidden behind some bushes. Before he could stop, his foot slipped and he fell straight into the well. "Help! I can't swim!" he screamed, crashing into the water. The younger boy, standing at the edge, froze in shock. His best friend was struggling, gasping for the breath, and his eyes filled with terror. He looked around desperately, but the village was far away. There was no one to call for help. Then his eyes fell on something, the bucket with a rope tied to it. Without wasting a second, he grabbed the bucket and threw it into the well. "Hold on it," he yelled. The older boy grabbed the bucket tightly, but the real challenge had just begun. The 6-year-old pulled with all his might. His tiny hand trembled, his arm burned, but he refused to let go. He pulled, sweat dripped down his forehead. His heart pounded like a drum, but he didn't stop. With one final pull, he dragged his friend out of the well. Both boys collapsed on the ground, panting. Then they looked at each other and burst into the tears. They hugged each other tightly, unable to believe what had just happened. "You saved me," the older boy whispered. "Of course I did. Who else would I play with if you were gone?" the younger boy joked, wiping his tear. They sat there shaking, partly from fear, partly from relief, but suddenly a new thought hit them. "Oh no," the older boy said. "What if our parents find out? We are going to get the scoldings of our life." They hesitated, but in the end they knew they had to tell the truth. When they reached the village, they ran straight to their families. Excitedly, they explained everything that had happened. But instead of being proud, the villagers burst into laughter. A 6-year-old boy, a 10-year-old, out of the well? Impossible. He can't even lift a bucket of water properly. "You two must be making up stories again." The boy was heartbroken. No one believed them except for one man. An old man known as Uncle Frederick stepped forward. He was the wisest and most respected elder in the village. He listened carefully, then smiled. "The question is not how he did it," Uncle Frederick said. "The real question is why he could do it." Everyone fell silent. At that moment, he continued, there was no one around to tell him that he couldn't do it. No one was there to say, "You are too small, you are too weak." Not even himself. The villagers realized the truth. The boy had no idea he wasn't supposed to be strong enough, so he simply became strong enough. Moral of the story: the only limits we have are the ones we believe in. If no one tells you that you can't do something, you will find a way to do it. Doubt is what makes us weak. Belief is what makes us strong. So, believe in yourself. When no one tells you that you can't, you will discover that you can.